I'd like to see you people, as I'm trying to do, is to replant again. Maybe in my lifetime I'll never see the resurgence of our people, but at least we could do the thing that is right for us in our time, in our age, and that is to replant that seed of life that will allow our people to stand erect, proud of themselves, and that they don't have to lean on anybody. They don't have to get relief from anybody because they could do it themselves.
How could you navigate this world without any roots? I was taught it'd be like roaming this earth lost if you did not know who you were, who you are, where you come from. My name's Mike Willie. I'm from which is 4 tribes of Kinkum River. Traditions, stories, elders, they're the link to the past. And we must know our past to be able to chart our way forward.
That's what roots us. That's what gives us strength. And this is what the early missionaries and the early governments knew, that if they could take that away from us, that identity, then we could get assimilated a lot more. Indian reservations was created for a reason. That's to slowly get us forgetting that we actually own all of this. You know, the residential school era happened and the anti-potlatch prohibition.
So all of a sudden, we're not allowed to gather. We're not allowed to sing our songs and tell our history anymore. You know, we're not allowed to go off the reservation.
For some reason, our people never let go. And so it is now our responsibility during those dark years when the potlatch prohibition was happening and our people were going underground to keep it alive. That gives us the obligation now to pass it on, because they risked a lot to keep it going for us. And without that culture in my life, I would be a lost individual trying to find his way somewhere, probably in a city or in an urban setting that is foreign to me. And this isn't foreign to us. The Canadian government, that is the exact reason why they put us on these little plots of land called Indian reservations, is so that the resource extraction could happen a lot easier. How can we generate any type of economy on that little speck of land? And knowing and seeing the resources being extracted from our territories and knowing that we don't share in any of that inspires us as well. And it inspires us so that I want my sons to be the next leaders. But how do we create those leaders if we don't get them into the land? What do they know they're fighting for? And so this is going to be super important to get our children back onto the land so that they have a connection, so that when it comes time for them to fight for our territories, rights, and titles, they will feel rooted and grounded.
And the goal is to really use our traditional governance and our authority to say, hey, what's happening is wrong.
You hear everywhere now. You hear it on TV all the time. Reconciliation, reconciliation, reconciliation. But I truly believe in my heart that reconciliation cannot happen without land. We have to acknowledge that we never gave this land up to anybody and that this is our land. And how do we move forward knowing that together as a people in a harmonious way? But it hasn't been so harmonious for our people for a long time.
I think going to be a long time, for people to really embrace that this land was and is occupied by First Nations. Wherever, your house sits, it's on somebody's First Nations territory. If you're a business, wherever you operate, you're on someone's traditional territory.
So I think what we are doing here, getting our children out onto the land, is asserting our rights. We want to teach our children that we never gave this land up to anybody. We want them to know that this belongs to them. We are hopeful that what we were taught by our old people, we can teach the next generation, and in stronger numbers, so that we can protect more of our river systems in our territories.
We all want to get along, don't we? We've had our fair share of violence and destruction where it's not balanced. We want to balance that out now. And I think Canadians are ready. I really do. I get that feeling. And I think we need to continue to work together more so that more and more Canadians become aware of who we are as First Nations people and where we come from and where we could go together, because we recognize that you're not going anywhere, right? You're here to stay too. So we all need to just come together and chart a path forward, and that's reconciliation to me.
We're not greedy people. We never have been. We're not asking for much. We want to be able to create opportunities for our people, and we're tired of sitting there with our hand out like this, getting crumbs from the federal government. We don't want that. Nobody wants that. And so we want to be able to utilize our territories and create revenue, put our people to work, build their spirit, their hearts and their minds, connect them to the land, so that we have more people that want to protect areas like this. Build an army of young warriors. That's what we want to do. That's what we are going to do.
What is the future of our history? What do we want the future of our history to be? Dela Kesla.